Hi guys, welcome back to another video of Easy Tutorials YouTube channel. Today in this video you will learn how to make a contact form with the help of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. This is the complete working contact form. Whenever user will enter any data in this form and click on the submit button or send button, then we will receive the information or the data on our email address. Let me show you how this contact form works. So if I click on this send button, here we got a alert message sent successfully. Now let me show you where we received this information. Let me open my Gmail and here you can see an email from visitor@test.com and the subject is new contact form inquiry. Let me open this email and you will see all the information that we have entered in the contact form, which is the name, email ID, phone number and the message. This is a test message. So this is how this contact form is working and we are receiving the inquiries on our email ID. So now let's start how to build this contact form and receive the inquiries on our email address. Here I have this folder and in this folder you can see I have created one HTML file and one CSS file. Let me open these files with my code editor, which is VS Code. So here you can see this is the HTML file where I have added the basic HTML structures. I have added the title and link tag to connect the CSS file. So this is the CSS file where I have added margin padding, box sizing and font family. Now we will add codes in the body tag that will be displayed on our web page. So in this body, let's create a div with the class name container. Next, we have to add the CSS properties for this container. So just copy this class name, write it here in this CSS file. And for this one, let's add some width and height. So we will add the width 100%, then height, and let's add the background. After that, we will add display, flex, align items center, and justify content center, so that all the contents in this div will be in the center. Now we will open this HTML file. So let's come to the folder, open this HTML file with web browser. And now you can see a plain color on the complete web page. Let me close this browser and we can open this web page through the VS Code editor called Live Server, so that it will refresh the web page automatically whenever we will add any changes and save the web page. So you can see same web page again. Now let's come back and here we will create a form. So within this div, let's create a form tag, and in this form we will add a title. So let's add a title in H3. The title is Get in Touch. And after this title we have to add the input fields. So let's add the input. Input type will be text, and let's add an ID name. Then we will add the placeholder, your name, and required. After adding this, let's come to the web page, and here you can see one title and one input box. Let's come back and here we will add another input box. So let me duplicate this line and this will be email, ID will be email, and here let's add email ID. Let me add another input field. So it will be a text box like this, and ID will be phone, placeholder will be phone number. It is also required. And next we will add a text area where people can write their message. Let's add one ID here. So the ID is message. Remove this column and row will be 4. That's enough. And let's add a placeholder for this one also. So the placeholder we are adding, how can we help you? And after this text area, we need a button to submit this form. So let's add a button, type submit, and button text will be send, or you can add any other text also like send message or submit. Now let's preview the web page, and you can see there are 4 input box: name, email ID, phone number, and a message, and there is one submit button. Now we have to design this form, so we will use the CSS. So let's come to the CSS file, and here we will add the form tag. Now for this form, let's add the background. So the background will be white, and after that let's add a display. It will be flex, and flex direction will be column. Next we will add some padding, 2 VW and 4 VW. Then we will add the width. It will be 90% and max width will be 600 pixel. Then border radius will be 10 pixel. After adding these CSS for the form tag, let's open the web page again. Now you can see the changes in this form design. Let's come back, and here we will add form h3 for the title, and here let's add a color. So the color will be this one. After that we will add the font weight. It will be 800, and let's add some margin from the bottom, 20 pixel. So this title looks good. Next we will add the CSS for the input box. Let's come back and write form, and in this form you can see we have the tag called input and text area. So we will use these tags. Here let's add form input, comma, form text area. For this one we will add border. It will be 0, then some margin. After that we will add padding, 20 pixel, and outline will be none. Next we will add the background, and this color code. We will add the font size also. Now you can see changes in the input fields design. Next we have to design the send button. Just come back and write form and button, because we have added a button tag. Now for this button, let's add some padding. Then background. Then we will add color. So the color will be white, and font size it will be 18 pixel, and border will be 0, outline none, cursor pointer, let me change the width of this button so the button will be small. So let's come back, and here we will add width 150 pixel and margin, let's add margin of 20 pixel from top, then left right auto and bottom 0, and we will add border radius, it will be 30 pixel. After adding this, you can see this send button looks good. So now we have added everything in this form, but right now if we will write any information in this form input box and click on this send button, it will not send the data. So we need to add the JS for this one. So first we have to open a website called smtp.js. Search for smtp.js on Google. Open this website smtp.js.com. Here you can see a button called CDN. Just click here and copy this URL. This is the CDN link for smtp.js. Now come to the HTML file, and at the bottom just above this closing body tag, here we will add a script tag and src and add the URL that we have just copied, this one. After that we will add another script tag a script open and closing tag like this one. In this one we have to create a function and write a name, send email like this. So we have the function called send email, and in this one we have to add some codes. So just come back to this website, scroll down. Here you can see a code snippet. Just copy this one and paste it within this function like this. Next we have to call this function whenever we will submit the form. For that just copy this one and come here in this form tag. In this form tag we will add onSubmit equal to this function. Just add this line in this form tag, and let's add something in this form. Click on send. We didn't get any error or success message. Let's come back, and here we will add reset and return false. After adding this, again try this form. Let me add anything in this name, any email ID, then any phone number and message. Click on send button, and we got an error, failure sending mail, because we are not adding the correct SMTP server or username and password. So just come back. Here we have to provide the SMTP server and username and password, then only it will send the information. For learning and testing purpose, we will use the Gmail SMTP server. For that, simply add smtp.gmail.com. Then write the username. It will be the Gmail ID. So let me add my Gmail. gmail.com, and here we have to enter the password, and after that it is asking to. It is the email ID where we will receive the inquiry. So let me add another email address here where I want to receive the inquiry. So we will receive the inquiries on this email from. So in this from, we will take the email ID entered by the user. For that, let's add document dot get element by ID, write the ID email dot value. Like this. So it will take the email ID entered by the user. Subject, let me change the subject. New contact form inquiry. This is the body. Let me keep it as it is. We will change it later. First we have to fix the form. After adding my password, let's enter any name here. After entering the data, let's click on the send button. You can see we got a alert called OK. And let me check the email. Here you can see we got another email here. Let me open this email. See, this is the old one, visitor at test. This is new one, smith at test.com, and the message body is, and this is the body. We got the email here, but there's no name, phone number and message. So to get the information, just come back. Here we will add name, then plus document dot get element by ID name dot value. Let's change the line, and here we will add plus BR to change the line, and write the email, then again plus document dot get element by ID, and the ID is email. Let me duplicate this line. Here we will add phone number, phone, and paste this line again. It will be message. And after adding these lines, here we will update the message. So here let's add a message. Message sent successfully. Here we will add another data. So we have entered the name John, email ID john@test.com, the phone number, and message called this is a new test message. Let me click on the send button. Now we got a message sent successfully. Okay, and Now we will open the email ID. Here you can see we got another email. And for this one you can see the sender's email ID is john@test.com that we have just entered, and name it is John, email ID, phone number and message. This is a new test message, so we are getting all the information that users enter in the contact form. So this is how this contact form is working. But let me tell you one more thing. Here you can see I am using the Gmail SMTP personal Gmail ID and password. So it is okay to use it on the local server and for learning purpose, but whenever you have a domain name and you want to upload the website on domain name so that anyone can submit your form, then you should go for the SMTP API provider. So how to get the SMTP API, I'll tell you. Just come to the website called Elastic Email. Create an account here. I already have an account, so let me log in. So this is the dashboard. Just click on My Account. Then click on Settings. After that you have to go for Domains, Manage Domains. Click here. Here you need to add a domain name and then you have to verify the domain. Then come back. And here you can see SMTP, create SMTP credentials. Click here and you can enter the username and create a new SMTP. Let me come back, and here if I click on manage SMTP, I have already created one. So you can see you will get this type of information like your email ID. So the email ID will be username, you will get a password and this server smtp.elasticmail.com. So you can directly add these information, username, password and elastic email in this HTML file. Host name, that will be SMTP server, username and password you can use like this. Or there is another option also, you can hide your password of the SMTP server also. Just scroll down and over here you can see a button called encrypt your SMTP credentials. Just click here and here you have to enter the SMTP host, which is smtp.elasticemail.com, then username and password and domain that you will get from here, username and password, and the domain name that you already have and verified in this Elastic email. So add those information here. Let me add anything for now. Click here, create security token, and after that you will get a security token like this one. Now just copy this one and come back, secure, and you can remove these 3 lines. Like this you can secure your credentials and this form will be working. So I hope this video will be helpful for you. If you have any question you can ask me in the comment section. Please like and share this video and also subscribe my channel Easy Tutorials to watch more videos like this one. Thank you so much for watching this video.